Well, we've had a lot of emotion and tension in the studio already this morning. Come Dine with Me, the Limerick version, begins tonight on TV3 at 9 o'clock. And our own Nadia from Limerick's Live 95 FM features tonight. Good morning, Nadia.
Good morning. Yes, speaking of emotions, I've got about 20 I could reel off for you here at the moment.
How are you feeling?
Well, I only just flew in from my holidays this morning, and I think I've been up for 24 hours, and I was doing fine until I touched down in Shannon, and then all of a sudden it became very real. And I feel I feel excited, but I feel very nervous, very anxious, and at times a little bit nauseous as well. Just, I suppose, the unexpected, not to know what's going to happen and what way it'll kind of, I suppose, pan out.
Now, this series is grabbing the audiences, but explain to someone who wouldn't know that much about it, what's the format? How does it all work?
It's 5 days, 5 people, and each person is welcoming the other 4 contestants into their home with the chance of winning €1,000 for the best. Well, for what should be the best chef, but as it turns out, there's many other kind of variables that go into it. There's the entertainment, your hosting skills, and then depending on the flavour of the night, the tensions, the drama, whatever might transpire along the night, that's how you're marked as well. And on you as a person as well. If you're liked, you obviously get marked higher. So there's a lot of different variables apart from just the food.
Everyone involved this week is from the Limerick area.
Yes, there's Cyril, who's on tomorrow, and he's originally from Newport but living in Limerick on the Ennis Road. There's on Wednesday Kathleen, and she's from Pallaskenry. On Thursday Jane is a Kilmallock, and then on Friday it's back into the city with Graham Culleton, who's living just off the Ennis Road. So we're all Limerick based, and then myself then, and at the moment I'm in Dúrdoyle.
So loads of publicity for Limerick.
Loads of publicity, and I mean, a great bunch of very entertaining people, it has to be said. Very much looking forward to it. I mean, lots of filming. I was saying to people that they're with you from 6 in the evening until 1 in the morning, and how they're going to narrow that down is what we're all very anxious about, because already I was sunning myself on a beach, and we've all met up for dinner, the group of us, and we've all had chats, and we're all on Facebook and texting. And Jane from Kilmallock was on Thursday, sent me a text message as I was sunning myself, and that's when the doom set in momentarily, where the Sunday World had decided to write a little biog on all of us. And I had been described, I'm so embarrassed I've been described this way, but my description of my character is a babbling, bitching airhead. Cue the dramatic music. So that's been my character. So that's why I think we're all a little bit anxious about what way we're going to be portrayed on the actual during the week.
None of you has seen the finished version.
None of us. No. I asked, and I said the way I might be away, and they were very kind in TV3 to say, "Oh, there's absolutely no problem. You can get the DVD once it's been aired." I'm not sure. I think what they've been doing is they've been giving people, like the media, grabs of clips, and they're the ones that are being played out. But nobody, I think it's kept under lock and key. Nobody has seen the Limerick version.
Do you sign your life away to these people? Do you have any control over what they do?
No. Now, Jane was on Ireland AM this morning, and Jane herself has her own, her own worries about the show herself, and I'm sure she'll discuss them here on the show as well. But you don't have much control, and according to Jane, there was a little bit of, she would have said things that she would have thought were off camera, and was very kind of frank about things, and then in the trailer she's seeing those grabs of her rather than what she said when she thought it was rolling. So stuff like that. And
now, Nadia, you know that people wouldn't have a huge amount of sympathy for the contestants in that situation.
I know.
Because the view is you volunteer, you get involved, and then you have to accept the outcome.
No, I'll tell you what, I went in, I had only been cooking for 10 months. My mother will tell you that whenever the clattering of pans started in my house in Adair, Nadia was upstairs in her bedroom hiding away, and the odd, "Nadia, I'm busy at the moment, I'm watching something home and away." So I was never in the kitchen. My sister would have been watching my mum and would have been very good that way. Me, I was the furthest away from housework any kind. So I only took up cooking about a year ago. And I thought to myself, I'd only seen about 10 episodes, and I'd seen very pleasant episodes until they were recorded in February, and then I started really getting into it and then seeing a totally different side of it. So to me, I entered with the hope that it was going to be a good bit of banter and good cooking. And my cooking was conservative, but I tried to make it to perfection with a couple of twists. But the way it turned out was that we had, I have to say, we had so much fun as a group. But what happened was you'd be having fun, but the director there was 3 different directors working on 3 different shows, and each one had an angle that they wanted and that they wanted you to become. So there was a lot of leading questions and lots of open-ended questions that were leading. So for those kind of things, you don't expect those. And if you're not media, even I who work in media, I wasn't quick because it's hours and hours of footage that you're there. And you do tend, like you hear in Big Brother, you do tend to switch off and forget. And that's when it got a little bit kind of hairy when they decided, okay, we want to swap subjects right now, and we want to talk about things that aren't ordinarily spoken. Even with your own family, you wouldn't pick up the topics of conversation that directors are bringing up.
I'm getting the distinct impression that you're genuinely concerned about this.
I'm not concerned. I'm just the other group are very concerned. For me myself, I had lots of fun. I was on the first night tonight, and the night itself was fantastic. I didn't feel any pressure during the night because everything for some reason went according to plan. Like I had no delays, I had nothing burnt on me. Thank God, everything went well. But on Tuesday, tomorrow night, I was exhausted. I wasn't myself, and that was the only night where I think I was just so drained from my own night. I was working on adrenaline, and I was just exhausted. So Tuesday night, I wasn't even on this planet. But I think we're all a little bit worried about how they're going to portray it, because it takes 10 seconds for them to twist something.
And the difficulty is that there is a pact between programmes like these and the media in general, especially the tabloids who love Come Dine with Me in Britain and here. Are you prepared for whatever comes? If there's an onslaught of criticism in the media, will that concern you?
Well, there has been for the previous 2. I mean, Cork, there's a contestant on Cork who got an awful grilling altogether, and the Facebook page was absolutely verging and disgusting. Well, if you compare it to the English one, the level of abuse that she got on a public forum was just unquestionable. It shouldn't have happened. And then
you feel it was worse than criticism of the English one in Britain?
Well, not of the voiceover guy, but if you go onto the Facebook page of the English one, they don't seem to be as, I don't know.
Vicious.
Yes, vicious in there. They talk more about the food and maybe about, what she cooked, and it was a bit lazy. But the assault on the Cork one was very much on personable rather than on what she cooked and stuff like that. And even forums on the boards.ie talk about, their homes and, stuff like that, extra outside things, so it's not just the cooking anymore. It becomes a lot more. But the way I see it is, I'm a kind of person who likes to push myself all the time. If I feel like I'm getting complacent, I was like, let's try something new, push myself. I pushed myself. I really enjoyed it. I made great friends. We meet up. We're always texting, and we enjoyed it. And whatever way it comes out, so be it. In a week's time, it'll have flown over.
Is there something in the pit of your stomach, something that you said that you're wondering, how's that going to play? And will they turn it in a particular direction through the editing process?
No, I have to be honest. I wasn't critical in a personal way. My critique was over food and food alone. And then I had a bit of, kind of messing with characters. Like Cyril, you'll find out, is a character that will stand out. And we joked with him and stuff like that. But it was all very jovial. It wasn't, nasty. So I'm not, the only thing that I felt was on Tuesday I wasn't myself. And that'll probably show itself on the Tuesday night. I was totally wiped out from my own night. But apart from that, I wasn't, nasty. I wasn't vicious. I really thoroughly enjoyed the week.
Were others nasty and vicious?
That show you'll have to find out for yourself. That'll be a da-da-da. I don't want to ruin it for people, because I know that during the previous weeks I was on with Katrina while Mark was on holidays, and I gave a lot of background information to what people mightn't, see, and things that go on in the background. But I think that
you were tough enough once or twice.
Yes,
that week
I was very tough. It's very easy to be tough, you see, when you're an observer. Now it's our week. I mean, our week is going to be full of every kind of emotion and lots of drama.
Well, a couple of things that have emerged.
Yes.
Most people are saying that the Limerick week of Come Dine with Me is the highlight of the entire series.
Oh, really? Very good. Well,
I don't know why, but that's what we're hearing.
I can see why. There's many different reasons why it is, but I shan't be telling you, Joe. You'll have to watch it yourself. But definitely lots of highlights and lots of drama. The Bold and the Beautiful. All those shows that come to mind, that's what you're going to see this week. It's going to be great fun. No, it really is. And whatever you see about other characters, they're genuinely 4 lovely people.
The other point, and we're not going to spoil it for anyone, is that we got a number of texts here last week saying it's, quote, all over Limerick who won it already.
It's not. No. Basically, I've looked up myself, the forums, and there's nobody that they think they know, but they actually haven't an iota. No. And I'm not going to say anything because I know me when I babble. The babbling, that's the only part that got correct, I think, in the Sunday world. Babbling. But I'm not going to reveal anything. But no, that whatever has been going around is incorrect.
If you knew then what you know now, would you have participated?
Well, the benefit of hindsight, isn't that fantastic? The only thing that I felt that I let myself down is my father's from Morocco. And after spending 2 weeks there with my relatives, with the benefit of hindsight, I wish I had cooked Moroccan food. But the mother is always a lot of the time in the kitchen, and my mother wouldn't have grown up with Moroccan dishes. But when I went back to Morocco, I wished so badly I cooked something Moroccan. And that's all. But I mean, apart from that, I would certainly have done it again. I wouldn't do it again, but I would have those things that have changed, and to know more, to love to have known more about what people's preferences were. Because of course, you have 4 different people who enjoy different drinks, enjoy different foods, and you find out as the weeks progress what their likes and dislikes are. So maybe other contestants have that advantage. Not much of an advantage, but...
Finally, you work in the media.
Yes.
So as you say, you have some level of experience of what it's like and how people can form opinions of an individual working in the media. Might happen to me from time to time as well. But what about those participants with you this week who don't have experience of the media? Could they be in for a shock?
To be honest, I don't think so. I think when you look at the bigger picture, there's going to be spicy bits that the directors want. Of course, if you saw the 5 of us enjoying ourselves and having, great fun, yes, it'll be good for a while, but then you want some meat, you want some juice. So of course, there is going to be juicy parts, but you have to realise is that that's a snippet of that person as a whole. And I think people at this stage in the competition know that TV is all about editing, especially when it's pre-record. That was done in February. Those directors have had lots of time to work on what they want, and you're getting a nugget of that person. And remember that you're only seeing a small part of that person. And I can genuinely say that all of them are fantastic people in their own right. We're all different characters. We all have flaws, but they're all genuinely nice people. And I think just be aware that if you are commenting or if you do see them, that everyone has feelings, and that under certain pressures, things come out, and it's a small nugget of that person.
Well, fair play to you for your courage. I wouldn't have done it in a million billion years. So your episode, as it were, on tonight, 9 o'clock on TV3. Interestingly, they wouldn't give us any of it. So we're going to play into the break with another episode that doesn't involve you at all. Indeed, doesn't involve any of the participants this week. But I know on the programme we'll be talking each day to each of the hosts.
Yes.
So I look forward to it. And
Me too.
We keep the fingers crossed for you, Nadia.
And the legs and the toes.
Thanks.